Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Discovery by Daft Punk?
Great album, Lois. Great album. I didn't know who I was until I heard this album.
I'll miss you more than anyone.
You have been hurt. You have been hurt by somebody. That much is clear.
The year is 2011. I was currently in second grade, and I put all of my attention on Pokemon cards, SpongeBob, and figuring out YouTube for the first time. I was just like every other second grader, but I've always been an overthinker. Every now and then I would think to myself, what is the future really going to be like? Because like most people, I thought we would have flying cars, be surrounded by robots, and be able to travel inside our video games. Close enough. With how many interpretations of the future there really are, that's what makes it so interesting. As a kid, seeing how the future looked in games, movies, and TV shows let our imaginations run wild. Like the Chrome world from SpongeBob, for example. It's a funny over-exaggeration of the future, but making things chrome and more tech-savvy can make a kid wonder and envision what their future looks like. Here's to hoping we can get little homunculus pals in the future. With all of these, music is no exception either. Listening to tons of music as a kid would lead me to get a glimpse of the future, and it all started one warm afternoon. During recess, my best friend approached me and looked super excited. He told me about a cool music group he found while searching on YouTube. I asked for their name, and he said, Daft Punk gave me a look into a specific kind of future, and what I got was two robots creating timeless music that united both humanity and technology. Beforehand, I was listening to what my parents grew up with. I still love the music I listened to when I was younger, since it was my mom and dad sharing their music with me, but Daft Punk was something that I experienced and considered my artists. The introduction to Daft Punk at a young age and its consequences. They were also my first exposure to house and dance music, and they became the gateway for me finding out about other artists close to their style. Seriously though, I think listening to Daft Punk at a young age flipped the creative switch in my brain because I genuinely think they influenced how I viewed music.
Paris, France, 1992.
For those unaware, Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem Christo are two French musicians who started making music in 1992 before joining together with a friend, Laurent Brancowitz, to form a band called Darlin. This only lasted about 6 months until one review they got changed their path entirely. The anonymous person called their music a bunch of Daft Punky trash. Wait, hold on, say that again.
Say that again?
And once Darlin disbanded, Thomas and Guy-Manuel formed Daft Punk. They'd eventually become more popular in the late 90s upon their release of their first album, Homework. This album was a solid beginning for their careers, and the hype for their album only kept getting bigger as they released a new single. Now, I didn't listen to the full album a whole lot as a kid, only a select number of songs, but upon listening to it now, you can really hear just how close they were to getting a signature robotic style down, with songs like Defunk, Around the World, Burnin', and Revolution 909.
We don't want to be famous for, physically. So, we just want to spread our music and share the music we make. Our physical appearance is totally irrelevant.
Discovery, 2001.
If there's one, the album is called Discovery, and that's for the audience to discover it.
They would soon transition their brand in the early 2000s from using face masks to cover their faces to the early models of their iconic robot outfits they're now known for. They wanted to make their second album feel more futuristic, and they hit the nail on the goddamn head. I can't stress enough how much I love this album. Every single song in Discovery is a banger, and I had the album playing constantly. I mean, come on, this is an accurate representation of what I do. They got Todd Edwards to do the vocals for one of my favorite songs on the album, Face to Face, which is poetic in a way since Todd was who Daft Punk was heavily inspired by. So it was great to see them actually work together on projects, and this wouldn't be their last time either. This album also has a lot of cool sampling in the songs, and it's actually mind-bending how people can come up with these ideas. There's a couple videos that go over the sampling done in Discovery that I'll link in the description since they deserve to be checked out. With this album feeling more like a trip through the stars and with the vocals in most songs, accompanied with the anime movie Interstellar 5555, produced by the legendary anime and manga creator Leiji Matsumoto, made this one of my all-time favorite albums. Please go listen to it.
Why don't you play it again? We only remember that we woke up one morning and people told us we were Daft Punk.
It's big. 30 million.
2005 would see the release of their third album, Human After All. This is considered to be the black sheep of Daft Punk's albums. A fitting description too, since right off the bat, the album already presents itself in a much darker way. Majority of the songs feel more repetitive, and that makes sense due to the album being made in just only 6 weeks. Okay, how long did it take to make Discovery? Let's see here. 2 years? I consider this to be Daft Punk's most interesting album, both in its release and with the years that followed after it. Homework and Discovery acted as the introduction and a fun bliss with music and technology, while Human After All is the shadow that's always visible. The album isn't all that bad, the songs are still pretty good, and what followed after this album makes me appreciate it much more. Firstly, the duo's robot suits got an upgrade, and they look great. These suits would return just a year after Human After All, where Daft Punk made yet another movie to go along with their album called Electroma. The film follows the two robots traveling to a place in hopes of becoming human, only to find out the people in the town look exactly like them. The two go in a strange white room and get intense makeup work. It's also pretty funny that the makeup that they get are caricatures of themselves. It doesn't last long, and the heat from the sun just melts away their makeup.
The mighty sun!
The town ends up noticing that and overwhelms them, and they quickly hide to remove the makeup and then leave town. They go into the desert and... yeah, it doesn't go well. The film itself is pretty well made and has no dialogue either, but I feel like if it was only just cut down to like 30 minutes instead of it being an hour long, then it'd be a little bit better. But it's worth the watch, no doubt. Then, another year later, everything changed with their Alive 2007 tour. Many fans praise this album. It combines and mixes numerous of their songs together to create a whole new experience. Many of the Human After All songs are remixed too, and it makes them feel more unique than their original release. Personally, I'd say that Alive 2007 saved Human After All's reputation, but it also didn't? Both albums do their own thing, no doubt about that, but listening to how Human was structured versus the freedom they had on Alive can make one find an appreciation for the album's minimalistic approach much more, and enjoy how the songs sound on Alive. Holy shit, 2 cakes! Let me just touch briefly on this since I don't want this video to be like 20 billion hours long, but in 2010, Daft Punk did the soundtrack for Tron Legacy, so now I can say that Daft Punk was in a Disney movie. A good Disney movie. Human After All's era was an interesting one. Giving it a better insight really wasn't that bad, but in terms of how they approached it themselves, with them being mostly silent, being very minimalistic, and trying to limit their production time for a different sound, that really set them back for quite a while. Their fourth and final album, at least that's what I wasn't hoping for, was Random Access Memories in 2013. Once me and my friend caught word that they would be making a fourth album, we locked in and waited for any news on a single. This album would be their biggest project yet, and they knew that. It highlighted more live instrumentation, which gave the album a more calming, melodic sound that emphasized our accomplishments and appreciation for music itself. The album also had a lot more guest contributions such as Nile Rodgers, Pharrell Williams, Panda Bear, Julian Casablancas, Todd Edwards again, Paul Williams, Chris Caswell, Giorgio Moroder, and so many others. The album would prove its success and be #1 in the charts in over 20 countries, which was absolutely huge for the duo. I remember being home during the Grammys and just seeing Daft Punk win a Grammy over Taylor Swift, of all people, will be in my memory forever. But by 2016, I had insane drought, and I needed new material desperately. But wait, what is this light? Could it be another artist who's come to satisfy fans? It's a miracle! A man shining bright like a star. Almost like a starboy. I'm not doing that. Yes, The Weeknd broke minds in 2016, highlighting his rebrand with the album Starboy. Not only was the album just really good overall, but Daft Punk would be featured on the 2 most popular songs. The music videos for the songs were really visually impressive too, and in the Starboy music video, whenever I saw the painting of them, I immediately pointing at the screen, it was like, holy shit, there they are. It's just overall a good painting, and the coats they have were just stylish. I've wanted this painting of them for so long, but I gotta look up a good replica somewhere that doesn't cost an arm and a leg like their merch. I don't have that YouTube money yet, so I just gotta work with what I have. They did perform with The Weeknd at the 2017 Grammys, but when The Weeknd performed at the Super Bowl in 2021, and they didn't show up at all, my disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined. I continued to wait and wait for any news about new projects from the two and started to cope when it was like 2021, and I just keep telling people, oh, don't worry, even though their last album was in 2013, there's rumors that they're making something house related. Just trust the process. February 22nd, 2021 was my 13th reason. On that day, they also released a video called Epilogue, and it was just the end scene from Electroma, which closed with this. The damage was already done, guys. Fans did end up winning slightly. In 2023, Daft Punk released 2 versions of RAM, a deluxe edition and a drumless edition. But did we really need this one? Holy shit, 2 cakes! The deluxe edition had some bonus material, and one of the songs was an unreleased demo with Julian Casablancas on vocals again. Crazy to think that they had Julian on 2 songs that were super emotional. Holy shit! Daft Punk's socials hyped up the release of this song, and it ended up premiering at Paris's Pompidou Center, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, with a new music video that had beautiful animation which indicated an infinite cycle. I think it was a great finale song. It kind of sucks that it wasn't actually put on the original album. I think it fit really well. Ultimately, Daft Punk had a huge impact on who I am as a person and how I viewed music at a young age. I was introduced to their music during their peak, experienced their highs and lows, and was able to experience some final new songs from them during a confusing time in college. During the time of Random Access Memories, I was high off the amazing bliss that was the early 2010s internet. Do I have new favorite artists? Yes, absolutely. But listening to Daft Punk got me to explore my interests and find new people who'd become favorites as well. The two may be doing different solo projects, but the fact that they are both alive and happy is what matters most. They changed my life, and I'm happy to have listened to them thanks to a friend when I needed it the most. Wow, here we are. Holy, I cannot believe I actually managed to get a video done while being in college. Oh my gosh, what an accomplishment. I just had so much to talk about, and I just wanted to just get this rebrand going for once. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope you guys like the rebrand. Hope you guys like how it looks. And nothing's finalized yet. A lot of things are still being worked out, experimenting with new things. I can't guarantee that I'll be back immediately, but having a video out right now before the summer is a blessing. We'll look forward to more uploads hopefully in the summer. Thank you all so much. Go check the link in the description for the videos that I mentioned, the artists, and my socials. I'll catch y'all soon.
I'm feeling a light to decent 7.